Alright, so my name is Tiffany, and basically, I've always wanted to start a vlog, but anxiety sucks. And if you have social anxiety or any kind of general anxiety, you'll understand what I'm saying. So it's like, with me being a creative and being a writer, it's very hard for me in the same light to be open and exposed. But yeah, I figured it's a new year. It's time to do something different. It's time to step out of my comfort zone. So this is me stepping out of my comfort zone. So, yeah, so welcome. So the name of my blog is Authentic Chick, and I want to go ahead and start my vlog in the same vein, the same title. You know, kind of keep it where it's like, oh, all right, yeah, that's the chick from Authentic Chick. So, yeah, it ties together. So, that's the whole purpose of that. So, yeah, so welcome. Thank you for watching. So, basically, I want my vlog to be a bit of everything, kind of a bit about lifestyle, a bit about friendship. Like I said, 2017 has kind of been my year to get out of my comfort zone, meaning to rebuild friendships, because last year was a banana sandwich. I mean, not to say it was terrible, but it was just like one thing after another. But I have really, really good news on top of all of that. I am preggers. I don't know if the camera's catching this or not. I'm 29 weeks along. It's been a tough journey. I had to deal with an ectopic pregnancy September 2015, and that had to have been the roughest time of my life. My husband and I, Andrew, we've been married for, how long have we been married for? Not that long for me to sit here and think about it like that. We've been married for 2 years now. At the time that I had the ectopic, it had been a little less than a year. And I found out I was pregnant. We were so excited. And a little afterwards, I started having like symptoms, started bleeding. I started having heavy cramping, and I think we were both in denial. I think, you know, we both thought everything was okay, and it turns out that wasn't the case. I went to the ER, and they did an ultrasound, and there was no baby in my uterus. They only found a medium to large mass on my left ovary, which I later found out was actually the baby. So that was a really rough time in our lives. On top of that, I also have polycystic ovarian syndrome, or PCOS. Don't know if you guys have heard of that or not. It's actually pretty common. I was diagnosed with that officially about 7 years ago. And what's crazy about that is that it's not something, it's not the end of the world if you get it. However, there are a lot of symptoms that are annoying. So for example, you get more cases of acne. You get like more body hair / facial hair. But ironically, your hair starts thinning on the top of your head, which is like, bruh. It's like, give me hair everywhere else, but no hair up here. Fantastic. So, dealing with that. And then the other thing is that you have a higher chance of having a hard time getting pregnant. And so because of that, it's like, you know, I told my husband this before we even got married. Like, look, I have a son from a previous relationship, but the fact that I even got pregnant then was a bit of a miracle. But I only carried him to 26 weeks, and then I had went to premature labor, and we were in the hospital. John was in the hospital for 10 weeks. He was born March 12th, and we came out like the end of May. So I let him know about all of what was going on, and it was like, okay, well, you know, I love you no matter what, and we'll keep trying, and if we're not able to, then we'll adopt. Okay. So, you know, it's been a heck of a road. I didn't think I'd be able to even conceive, especially after what happened in September 2015, and that was a ridiculous time. So with this pregnancy, I've been heavily watched by both my regular OB and high risk OB. And you know, what's funny is, like, before all this, I didn't even know, I've never even heard of a high risk doctor and like what they did and things like that. I ended up getting a cerclage, which is basically stitches, and depending upon what kind of cerclage you can get stitches on your cervix, or you can get stitches, I think they can go through the abdominal area too. But the ones I got was kind of the traditional cerclage. So with that happening, I was heavily watched. I like that, heavily watched. Freaking surveillance right now. So anyway, I was very much looked after, and between the high risk and the regular OB, constantly getting ultrasounds. They took me out of work because the type of job that I do, I'm a patient care tech at a hospital. So basically I'm like the nurse's assistant. It's a very fancy way of saying nurse's assistant. And that includes helping patients in and out of bed. Sometimes that requires heavy lifting. And with all of my health scares in the past, I really didn't want to lose this baby. And even after talking with the doctor, she's like, I'm just concerned about how much work you're doing. And not everybody have to be out of work when they get a cerclage done, or when they've had a history of preterm labor. But my doctor was just like, you know, I'm just concerned. I really want you to carry this baby as long as possible. We've had a few scares where it's like, it looked like my cervix was thinning out too much. And sometimes I would just be dehydrated. So anyway, it was a terrifying, terrifying time. Not saying I'm out of the woods just yet. But I've gotten a lot farther than I did with my son. And I'm beyond thankful for that. So basically, the other thing that's going on is that I'm getting progesterone shots every week until, oh fudge, when does that end? I think it ends at week 36, so I'm almost there. So, but yeah, I'm excited. We were very, very excited to meet this little one. My mother, my father, my mother-in-law, like everyone's so excited. And with me being out of work, I realized, you know, I really want to start kind of vlogging about my life and kind of writing and doing more. And, you know, I want to look back on times where things were not always so easy, or to remind myself that, yo, you had some great times. Like, it's not the end of the world. So with that being said, that's why I'm vlogging. And I'm a little scared because, like I said, because of my anxiety, I'm very like hesitant and stuff like that. But yeah, I think the biggest thing though for the ectopic pregnancy is that you can try again. And I didn't think, I think the thing is, not a lot of people talk about it for obvious reasons. It's a very painful situation. It's a very painful time. It's not something, you know, you go and you brag about and you're like, yeah, I went through this, and it breaks your heart. So honestly, I just want to let people know that it's not the end of the world. It may feel like it. It may feel like everything is crumbling around you. But just try again. You know, have faith in whatever you believe in and try again. And it will happen. And I'm thankful that it didn't take very long. Some people it takes years. Some people they end up having to adopt. And I told my husband, you know, maybe in a few years, hopefully we can have another one. But if for whatever reason the universe does not give us that, then we can adopt. There's so many kids out there that need to be adopted and loved and taken care of, and we deserve to give them that. So my point is, you're not alone, honestly. And for a while I thought I was. I was in a very, very dark place. And I'm usually really happy-go-lucky. I'm usually like the awesome sauce chick, the one that's like cracking stupid jokes and being immature. And it just felt like it was the end of the world, honestly. And thankfully I had a lot of supportive family and friends, and that's what helped me get through. So just know you're not alone. It's not the end. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this little video. It's not super duper long. Just wanted to get my feet wet and get cracking on it. And yeah, if you guys have any questions or suggestions or anything like that, I'm more than down to listen. I have no issues with that. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.